afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 3, Episode 4, Ham Radio and AI. Hope everyone is doing well on this very chilly day. It did not get above 45 degrees for us in Florida. And I've gotten some comments from some people saying you're whining. And well, you know what? If it's 20 degrees colder than what you normally get, then yeah, you have a right to whine wherever it's at. Welcome, Cooley. Welcome, Bob Hayworth. Welcome, James. Good to see you. Congratulations, James. That's great. Glad you stopped by here today. Wanted to do something that AI has really come to prominence now. I noted. It's my wife just got a new laptop. It's on there. I have a new laptop. It's on there as well. We're starting to use it in work a lot. We have an AI tool at work that we use. It really makes a difference, especially, most of I'm in IT, and it really helps in difference in terms of, generating some code for things, and it works well. And what I thought I'd like to do today would be to go ahead and 44 in Oklahoma. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. What I thought I'd like to do today, good afternoon, Tim. Thanks for stopping by today. What I thought I'd like to do today would be to show how we can use it with ham radio. And I did some examples here, and this is only kind of scratching the surface of what you can do with this. Now, the two most popular ones that are out there are ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot. And I used both today in what I generated. I'm going to go over what I generated with you. I threw them out on Word documents. And what I'm going to end up doing with this Word doc, I'm going to attach it out to Ham Radio Basics. Welcome. Good to see you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it out on Ham Radio Basics Facebook group and page and attach it out there so you guys can take a look at it. And I'm going to go through what I did today, and then give you guys some pointers on being able to use it. And the first thing that I want to tell you, it is very useful and it works. But the number one thing that you have to remember is it gives you exactly what you ask for. So you have to be very specific in terms of what you type in as far as what you're asking for. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and share this here and show you what I came up with here. All right, let's get this here. Okay. All right. Now, what these first few examples were done using Microsoft Copilot here. And my question was, best HF ham radios still in production and their cost. Now, the reason I put still in production was the first time I did this, I got a list, but it was an older list from some radios that are no longer in production. So you can see right here, this did a pretty good job. It gave me the ICOM IC7300 and said this model is highly regarded for its RF direct sampling system and a 4.3-inch color touchscreen. It cost around $1,000. Yaesu FT-991A, known for its versatility, this all-band, all-mode transceiver covers HF to UHF frequencies. The price is approximately $1,200 to $1,300. Kenwood TS590G. This radio offers superior receiver performance and a user-friendly interface. The cost is about $1,400. Elecraft KX3, a portable HF transceiver that's lightweight and highly customizable. The price is around $1,500. And then the Zygo G90, this compact HF transceiver, comes with a removable display. An internal automatic antenna tuner costs about $450 to $500. Andy, welcome. Good to see you. James, welcome. Thanks for stopping by today. Appreciate it. So this is what I got for this question here. Now I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to another question here. And this question is best HT ham radios still in production and their costs. Okay. Here are some of the best handheld radios currently in production along with their costs. Baofeng BF F8 HP Pro. The entry-level radio is known for its affordability with a price around $70. It offers an 8-watt output, dual band operation, and USB-C charging. Number 2, Yaesu FT-5DR, a feature-packed radio suited for advanced users. It supports digital modes and APRS functionality. It's rugged and waterproof with Bluetooth capability and a touchscreen interface, priced around $400. Kenwood THD-75A, a reliable dual-band handheld radio. It includes GPS and APRS support. The estimated price is approximately $600, and that's on the low side. I can tell you that right now. Anytone AT D878 UV2 Plus. This versatile model comes with APRS, Bluetooth, and a charging cradle. It's suitable for users who need a robust radio, priced around $300. And the ICOM ID52A, featuring a large color screen and D-Star digital voice and data capabilities. This radio is geared toward ease of use with a robust feature set and dual watch capability, priced at approximately $600. Well, and the other thing that it doesn't mention in there, it has that wonderful waterfall screen, and that's rare to find that on an HT. But and again, these answers that you get back when you use either Chat GPT, which is what I recommend, or Microsoft Copilot, are only as good as what you type in. You have to be very specific and very long. Now, it may take a minute before it comes back with these answers, but I just want to let you know that. Now, the difference between Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT allows you you can use it 3 times during a day for the non-subscription model. When you subscribe, you can use it unlimited times, but you have to pay a fee per month. Microsoft Copilot, however, there's no charge for that, but I don't think you get as good results with Microsoft Copilot as you do with ChatGPT. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one here. Best QRP ham radios still in production. Okay, for ham radio enthusiasts looking for the best QRP low power radios still in production today, here are some top picks according to recent user surveys and reviews. Elecraft KX2. This compact radio is known for its portability and full feature capabilities, including an internal battery and automatic tuner. It's a favorite among many hams despite its higher price tag. Yaesu FT-817 FT-18. Okay, and this is where it's a little bit of a misnomer, because it's saying that this is still in production. And I asked them that question specifically, and it came up with that. So, and the series has been around for a long time with good reason. FT-18 in particular offers features like enhanced battery and a lightweight design, making it great for field use. ICOM IC705, known for its versatility and powerful performance, though it comes at a higher price point. Elecraft KX3, another solid option from Elecraft, offering excellent performance and features for portable setup. The Xiegu X6100, a portable option with a good mix of features, making it popular among the QRP community. Okay. Most of these answers were okay, except, with the Yaesu right there, and again, like I said, it gets this information off of some of these lists that are done out there that some people will put out. So that's why you get this type of information out there when you're looking for that. So just to let you guys know, sometimes these lists are going to come back like that, and you need to kind of proofread through these answers, because if you're using that, say you want to do a video for your ham radio channel, okay, you want to be able to say correct information to your audience out there. And so you do need to go through and proofread some of these things. And I'm glad that I did that. And I looked here and I'm like, 817, 818, okay, they haven't been in production for a long time. So, just beware and be wary of that. Tim Webb, welcome. Thanks for stopping by today. Just be aware of that when you're doing this. Okay, you do want to proofread through here and do this. Of course, Xiegu has a 6200 out right now, but I was not, and you guys know, I did my review and my thoughts on it, and I've long since sold that. So, okay, let's go here. Best UHF VHF ham radio mobile antennas still in production. Okay. And what this took this to mean, and I want to say this, I was looking to get antennas for cars, okay, for vehicles, trucks, SUVs, whatever, okay. What this did was this geared this question more toward an HT, okay, which is fine, but I needed to be specific. I thought I said with mobile, it took it, and it meant that to be HTs, not a mobile transceiver in your vehicle. So it came up with several choices here: the Nagaya UT-308UV, the Larson NMO 270B, the Nagoya NA771, which is a popular one, Common SBB5, that's another popular one. This one's very popular, Diamond NR 770HB NMO. Okay, dual band antenna known for its solid construction and excellent signal reception. Okay, so I rephrased that question here a little bit. Best UHF VHF vehicle antennas still in production in their cost. All right, and it pretty much gave me the same type of list right here, as far as that's concerned. So let's go down to the next one here. Best permanent HF ham radio antenna still in production and its cost here. All right, and it's interesting what this came back with. Okay, it gave me the Chameleon Loop 2.0 plus antenna. Magnetic loop antenna by Chameleon Antennas is known for its efficiency, ease of use for portable operations, and cost around $400. The high gain AV640, a multi-band vertical antenna that performs well across various bands, priced at about $500. The Comet CHA-250B, widely appreciated for its no ground radial design, this vertical antenna is priced at approximately $275. ICOM AH4, which is really more of an antenna tuner, but a versatile antenna tuner and antenna system which works well with multiple HF bands, costing around $250. G5RV antenna, a popular dipole antenna that provides solid performance for a range of HF bands, often found at approximately $100. Okay? It's like I said, you got to proofread through these lists, because don't take what ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot tells you as gospel. Go out there and verify that on your own. I mean, some things were out there, boom, and it popped right out to me today when I was doing these lists. So that's something I think you need to be aware of when you're doing this here. Okay. Now, what the ones that are following after this is I use ChatGPT for these. Okay, the previous ones that we saw were Microsoft Copilot. This was ChatGPT, and I included a question up there with this because I was very specific with this. And look at this question here. Installing a permanent HF antenna at home involves several steps, including selecting the right antenna type, ensuring proper grounding, and running coaxial cable into your house. Here's a step-by-step guide. Step 1, choose your antenna type: vertical antenna, dipole antenna, EdFed antenna. Step 2, prepare for installation. Select a location. Find an area with minimal obstructions and potential interference, ideally high up. Number 2, check local regulations. Verify any local zoning laws or HOA restrictions. Number 3, install the antenna. Mounting, use a sturdy mast or tower if possible. Ensure it is safely secured to withstand wind and weather. Antenna feed point, place it at the highest point of your installation or near the mast or tower. Okay. Step 4, grounding. A ground rod. Drive a copper or galvanized ground rod into the ground for your antenna base. To connect the antenna, use a number 10 AWG or thicker copper wire to connect the ground rod to the antenna's grounding point. This helps in reducing static discharge and lightning strikes. Number 5, step 5, running coaxial cable. Choose the right coax. RG213 or LMR 400 are popular choices. For HF, ensure it is rated for outdoor use. Entry point, choose a location for the coax to enter your house. Ideally, this should be as close as possible to the grounding point. Number 3, drill a hole. If needed, drill a hole for the coax entry. Seal the area around the cable to prevent water ingress. Number 4, coax routing. Run the coax cable through the hole and into your shack or operating area. Make sure to avoid sharp bends in the cable. In other words, you want to have a straight line with that. Okay, I mean, some of this is basic for you guys, but I'm just trying to point out for those of you who are brand new to ham radio, you don't want to do a lot of bends and stuff with coax. Okay, and this is good. It mentioned that in there. Okay. Number 6, connecting equipment. Connect the coax to your transceiver and antenna tuner inside the house. Step 7, testing. Use an SWR meter to check for proper matching and make sure you're operating efficiently. Additional tips: consider installing a lightning arrestor on the coax before it enters your house to provide additional protection. Regularly check your antenna and grounding setup to ensure everything remains secure and functional. By following these steps, you can successfully install a permanent HF antenna at home. Always prioritize safety and proper grounding to protect both yourself both your equipment and yourself. This was a fantastic answer. I was very impressed by this. I mean, it went into quite a bit of detail here and gave you a great guideline to go by in terms of, if you're a complete newbie, this is a great place to start. And it gave you a lot of excellent suggestions and tips right here. And these are things that a lot of us who have been hams for a while know. And even though I don't have a permanent antenna in my house, these are the steps that I would follow. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I would run that coax line straight out to where that antenna is. I'm not going to be putting bends or curves or anything. It's going to come in straight, because that way you want to cut down and minimize as much loss as possible on that. So just I think this is a good starting point for this. Obviously you want to go out there, and there are, like this video on YouTube, okay, on somebody will look this up and say, oh, ham radio and AI. Okay, this is a good thing, and it'll help me get started. There are dozens of videos out there on installing a permanent HF antenna, and running the coax to your house and putting in a ground rod and lightning arrestor and all these things. Okay, there are a lot out there, but what this does is this kind of condenses it, and it makes it so it's very readable and in an easy to understand format. Okay, we're going to go to the next question here, okay? And what I asked was, how do you get your ham radio license? What material should you use to test? How much will it cost? And how do I go about getting my general and my extra license after I get the technician? And this was very specific. Again, this was really good. This is ChatGPT. Understand the technician license. One, technician license. This is the entry-level license that allows you to operate on VHF, UHF, and some HF bands for privileges mostly in the lower frequency range. Step 2, study for the exam. Best course to study. Books, the ARRL Ham Radio License Manual, comprehensive and beginner-friendly. Ham Radio for Dummies, another excellent resource for beginners. Online courses, ARRL online course, offers structured learning directly from the ARRL. Ham Test Online, which is a very old test, subscription-based service that provides practice exams and study tools. QRZ.com offers study guides and practice tests. Of course, my friend James in Ham Radio Prep's not on here, which I'm kind of disappointed in, because to me, that's the gold standard for studying for your ham radio test. Nobody does a better job than Ham Radio Prep and James and his organization and Jim and everybody there. Excuse me. But that is, again, it's a starting point, and it's just some food for thought, and it kind of gets the ball rolling here. Okay. Study materials. Flashcards can be helpful for memorizing terms and definitions. Practice exams available online are crucial to gauge readiness. And that is correct. Okay. Ham Radio Prep, you can take practice tests on as many as you want. There's no limit on that. And that's what helped. That's what really helped me study for and pass and get all 3 of my licenses within a year's time. I really, really hit those practice exams. And what's nice about them, and I know that's the way with Ham Radio Prep, because I did mine with Ham Test Online. They rotated the questions in there. So you weren't memorizing answers, you were knowing the answers. And there's a big difference between that. So, but yeah, taking these tests and taking these exams, as well as you guys know, I'm preaching to the choir to a lot of you, but for those of you who are new, these practice exams make all the difference in the world. So keep taking these practice exams. They really help. Okay. All right. Find an exam location. Locate a test session. Use the ARRL website or hamstudy.org to find a local volunteer examiner team offering exams. Groups. Local amateur radio clubs often hold exam sessions. Check with them for schedules, and that's where I took mine. Costs involved. Exam fees. Typically, the cost is around $10 to $15 for taking the technician exam. Some clubs may charge more or waive fees for members. Study material costs. The books or online courses can range from $25 to $50 depending upon what you choose. Step 5, taking the exam. Prepare your documents. Bring a valid photo ID and your social security number for FCC issued FRN if you have one. Check in, arrive early, complete any required paperwork, and pay the exam fee. Testing. The exam system can 35 multiple choice questions covering various aspects of ham radio, including regulations, operating practices, and electronics. Step 6, getting your license. Passing score. Score of 74% or higher is required to pass. License insurance. Once you pass issuance. Once you pass, the VEs will submit your test results to the FCC, usually within a few days. And then the application fee, there is no fee for the technician license. It's issued free of charge by the FCC. Okay. Step 7, receiving your license, online access. You can usually view your licenses on the FCC's Universal Licensing System website once it is processed. And that's a whole question in and of itself. Hard copy. The FCC will send a hard copy of your license to your registered address, typically within 2 to 4 weeks. Step 8, upgrading to general and extra licenses. Study for the general license. Use the same study methods as for the technician exam, focusing on the general material from the ARRL. Recommend resources include the ARRL General Class License Manual and additional practice tests. Exam for general license. Find a local VE team offering general exams. Similar technician exam. The general consists of 35 questions, but with different content. Upgrading to extra license. The extra exam has 50 questions covering advanced topics. Study materials include the ARRL Extra Class License Manual. Again, find a VE team for your exam. Cost for general and extra. Similar technician exam. Expect around $10 to $15 for your exam. Summary. Resources. Focus on ARR materials and use online platforms for testing exams. Locations can vary. Check with local clubs and ARRL resources for details. Cost generally under $50 for each license. Exam costs and study materials. Upgrading. Continue studying and testing for general and extra exam licenses as you upgrade your experience. Hey, Jeff, welcome. Good to see you. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic, Jeff. Being able to do that virtually. That is excellent. Oh, I agree 100%, SD. That's exactly right. Following steps will help you successfully navigate the process of obtaining your technician, general, and extra amateur radio license here, okay? Now, I wanted to try to throw a curveball with my next question here to ChatGPT, and I wanted to give it something that I've actually done on my own, but I wanted to see how it would respond and how it would answer. And I asked a very detailed, specific question. I wanted a medium-sized go bag for my ICOM IC705. I wanted different power options with it, batteries and alternate power options. I wanted different antennas. I wanted connectors, you name it. Okay. I wanted, the paracord with it, the weighted balls, everything and just some different options. And this is what it came back with. And I was very, again, I'm very impressed with ChatGPT and what this came back with. Obviously the IC705 batteries, the BP272 and then the BP273 that you can come back with, external battery pack, obviously like a Bioenno, alternate power source, a solar charger or a generator, antennas, a portable HF antenna, a link dipole or multi-band vertical antenna, VHF, UHF antenna for local communication if needed, antenna tuners, portable antenna tuners such as an ICOM AH705 for matching various antenna setups, coaxial cable, low loss coax 50 feet of RG58 or RG213 with connectors, additional short coax cables for different setups, connectors, PL259 and adapters, arbor lines, high strength cord, 100 feet, fishing line, weighted ballast for arbor lines, sandbags, and they're talking heavy rocks here, pouches and storage, Ziploc or dry bags, tactical pouches, which is what I use, mesh bags to hold items accessible, miscellaneous items, headphones, microphone, USB charging cable, multi-tool handy for various tasks, notebook and pen, safety and comfort gear, first aid kit, a flashlight, water bottle, and snacks. This list should help you prepare a well-rounded go bag for portable operations through the ICOM IC705. Adjust based on personal preference and expected operational conditions. I was very impressed with that. That came back really well. It really touched a lot of what I have with my IC705. So I was very impressed with that. It came back with a great answer to that. So this kind of gives you a flavor for, yes, you can use, and here's kind of to summarize some things. Okay. Yes, you can use AI with ham radio. Number one. Number two, you have the old saying, garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. Okay. So, and meaning the question that you ask, okay, is going to dictate the answer that you get back for something like that. So if you ask those questions well, and you need to be, one thing that I found out, because I've only been using AI probably the last 3 or 4 months, and I'm still very new to it. But one of the things that I found out is you need to be very detailed and very descriptive with your questions to get back the answers that you're looking for. And even then, go back. Yes, very that SD. That's fantastic. I agree 100%. Um, you want to get with an Elmer. Hopefully, you're hooked up with one at your local club or someone online. Okay, like for example, okay, I've answered a lot of questions from people, via email. And the other guys out there, the YouTube bunch, what I'll call them, Jason, Josh, Mike, To, Smoking Ape, you know, they will always answer questions from anybody out there. And that's a nice thing about this. You know, don't take your answers as gospel. Okay. What let me back up with that. Okay. When you're asking questions about best of or best things, that kind of thing, all right, really scrutinize those type of lists. Okay. Now the list that came back for me, especially with, I want to put in a permanent HF antenna, that was pretty much spot on. Everything that you need to do with that. So I was really impressed with how they came back. And just again, you still want to be a little leery of that. But I mean, everything that I have read about installing an antenna, a permanent antenna at your in your home, this is the guide you want to follow. And, it's important to get that grounding rod in too. When I was brand new to ham radio, I had no idea that you needed an 8-foot copper grounding rod, but you do. And especially here in Florida, and Tampa Bay is unofficially called the Lightning capital of the world. Our hockey team's called the Lightning. It's for a reason. Okay, we're not the highest in the world, but we're one of the highest areas where there's just a lot of lightning here, and you got to be ready for that. And some other things to add onto that too. You want to have a quick disconnect. Whether it's a manual or you want to be aware when lightning's in the area, and you want to disconnect that right away. You don't want to hesitate. You don't want to play games with that. And I know a lot of guys have there's a switch that you can do, or a manual lever that you can pull to disconnect your coax from the antenna, which works. But I think the very best option is to just unscrew it. But that's me. That's who I am. So this kind of gives you a flavor and a background for how to use AI. Again, this is only scratching the surface with what you can do for something like this. You can use it, if you're a YouTube content creator with ham radio, you can use it to help generate thumbnails. You can use it to help generate, a video if you want, so to speak, in your text for that video, and it will do a great job. Some of them actually have voice on there too. You could use that as well. So, you have a myriad of options that you can do. And we're going to revisit this subject going on down the line. Oh, wow, Jeff, that's fantastic. I kind of knew something about that because I don't have the paid version. I'm going to be getting the paid version of that because I really like how robust it is and the answers that have come back. But yeah, that's a really good thing to be able to do that. So, I encourage you guys to get out there and start in small steps, start in baby steps. Okay. With the questions that you ask. And and what I would suggest, start with an area that you're familiar with. Okay. For example, I'm real familiar with go bags and what I need in a go bag. So I did that and it came back and it was spot on. All right. I'm familiar with what I need to do to get a permanent HF antenna installed at my house. So when I looked for those answers, it came back. Now, asking for best of, radios, and I know Jason does a fantastic job on those every year. The best HF radios, best HTs under $500, that kind of thing. He does some great lists, and they're fantastic. All right, and that's of course it's all subjective, but AI is supposed to kind of not be is to be subjective and not be really opinionated. For example, the Ken 1 THD 75A, people have had some battery concerns about it and are concerned about price and those kind of things. And, it doesn't take any of that into account, which is really nice. So what I would suggest doing when you're starting out with this is to start out in an area that you're familiar with. All right. And then kind of expand from there and understand when you're asking for the best HT under $500, you may get some ones, and you got to throw in there that are still in production and what their cost is. All right. Add what their cost is as well, too, because it will go out there and look for it at the manufacturer. If you're looking at an ICOM or a Yaesu or say an Anytone or a Zygu, it will go out to those appropriate areas and look for those and see if there's a cost associated with it. Now, what really threw me for a loop was it comes out with the FT 817 and 818, which are long since not being made by Yaesu. So just some schools of thought here regarding that. Yeah, you're right, SD. I agree 100%. So that's it for today. I hope you guys found this helpful. Please go ahead and make sure on the way out to hit that like button. That really helps me, and that really helps get this message out. My channel is all about trying to educate and help people in an easy to understand manner about ham radio. That's why my channel, and that's why I chose the name Ham Radio Basics, because I want to keep things simple. I don't want to keep mug things up or anything here. So, okay. Wow. Okay. Fantastic, Justin. That's excellent. You got some good radios right there. You'll do very well. Oh, sure. Absolutely. You're welcome, Justin. I enjoy doing this with you guys. I enjoy you guys in the chat a lot. It's fantastic. It's great. And, one of the things, or 710, yeah, I see that. One of the things about this, and again, the whole reason that I went in and I started a channel out there was, a lot of guys are fantastic. They get into a lot of detail. I don't want to bog people down. Sometimes detail is good, and you need that. And, there are a lot of references out there for real detailed information. I want to keep it at a higher level, and that's what I've always done and going to do with my channel, because I don't want to bog you guys down. I don't want to confuse you guys. I want to keep it simple so you guys understand it. And if you have, you can look at some of the other guys out there that have some very detailed, specific answers to a lot of these questions out here. So hope this helped. Definitely smash that like button on the way out of here today, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys a lot. Got a new video coming out probably in the next couple of days on taking a comparison between the IC705 and the new Yaesu FTX1F that's going to be coming out, I think, in March, kind of a time frame, kind of doing a comparison with that, looking at it and seeing what's going to be similar, what's going to be different, from what we know right now. So stay tuned for that. That's going to come out in the next couple of days. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. And remember, it's always a great day to make a QSO. 7-3s, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening.